The timelessness of childishness. That's a sentence that came to me when I thought about what it is that Nintendo does that I have an affinity for. What it is that they've consistently done that draws me back to them. From the kid playing with the Nintendo Entertainment System to the old man playing with the Switch too. I can remember a time when it was all about bits, 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit. Is that system 64 bits? What's next? 128 bits? Graphics must look better. Can you imagine one day playing a game that looks just like walking outside of your home? Photorealism, because I came from that 2D era where the dream was 3 dimensions, reality, games that one day were indistinguishable from actually doing everything you do in reality. And then you get a bit older and you realize something, or at least I did, and there's a buy-in with creators and the things that they create and the people that consume them. And the bridge between both of those is the imagination. You have to be able to reach back to that time when you were playing games, but you were also imagining what these worlds would be like, because technologically there wasn't photorealism, or they couldn't even create a large world that seemed like it was a place that was real. And even the games today that do that, like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, there's still that element, there's still that buy-in between the player and the creators of using your imagination. Getting in touch with this side of yourself may be difficult, because for me, as I gotten older, there was a time when I wanted that realism. I wanted those graphics. I wanted every single bell and whistle, ray tracing. Back in my time, bump mapping was a big deal. If you didn't have bump mapping, you weren't a real video game. But as time went on, as I played more video games, as I moved along with the times and the technology, chasing the inevitable unicorn of realism, I'm right back to that kid who loved putting a game in the NES and being taken to a world while also still having to use my imagination as I played those games. Now, what am I saying? Am I saying that video games shouldn't get better graphically, or you shouldn't be interested in games that have a high graphical, benchmark? No, because those games are fun as well. Some of them require an imagination, like Star Wars Outlaws. There's no real Star Wars world, but there's a sense of realism. People look real. The world looks real. It looks like something that you may have seen even in the world that we live in right now. So it's still fun, but the whimsicality and the childlike nature of a world and characters, and that buy-in of having to still engage with the game with your own creativity, your own imagination, I feel like that is being lost to the photorealism and the social media gamer, which I'm always very, very down on. You know, I think about something that I heard from family members when I was younger, and it's that when you're younger, all you want to be is older, and when you're older, all you want to be is younger. And I feel like that is the perfect philosophy centered around the timelessness of childishness for Nintendo. Older people are gravitating towards Nintendo. They absolutely love the games that they create. When you're older and you want to play video games and feel like a kid again, you want to escape from realism. You want to escape from a developer's ideology or real world issues in your video games, and remember a time when you were at the park in the sandbox arguing over whether or not Lion Force Voltron was better than Vehicle Force Voltron. Now look, I'm also old enough to know that this isn't an end or argument. Artists and creators can tackle a multitude of different topics, real world, fantasy, whatever it is they want. But I personally feel, and I know a lot of Nintendo fans feel, like Nintendo games are just this place to go for fun. You know you're not going to have to go into deep thought about some political real-world issue. It's just going to be whimsicality and fun. It's going to be characters that at their base level are just fun characters who do fun things. That's all you need to know about them, and that's all the developer wants to convey to the gamer. Whimsicality, fun, creativity, and imagination. You know, it's funny, the whole Pokemon Legends ZA stuff online, it's consistent negativity. I've seen people say things like they're making X amount of dollars, so they should spend close to what they make to make the game super graphically intensive. I've seen screenshots of Pokemon realistic looking characters in backlit alleyways with ray traced reflections, as if that even is in line with the artistic style of the creators and the creations. Now look, let me be clear. I'm not saying that games can't evolve graphically, and I'm not saying that some games shouldn't be better, I guess, performance-wise and things like that. But what I am saying is I think there are a lot of people who are addicted to social media and the negativity and the affirmation from strangers that saying things seems to get people. I don't understand it. Certainly, I feel like a realistic Pokemon game would be completely at odds with the art style. You can take this artistic style and make it look a little bit better and update it a bit, but at some point, if you keep pushing for graphical intensity and realism, it's going to change into just everything else that you're playing. There has to be room for the whimsical and for the gamer to engage their imagination, not just be spoon-fed realism and sit there and just stare at a screen. A long time ago, there were a few quotes out of Nintendo headquarters. The first was, "Photorealism is a race to the bottom," and the second one, which has never really been attributed to one person at Nintendo, but it definitely came out of that group, is that nobody wants to have fun anymore. All they want to do is kill each other in HD. Now, if you think about that and where we are now, most people in general seem to be extremely angry. In fact, most people don't even know why they're angry. Most people have an opinion about anything that really isn't even their opinion. They've been fed it, they've been sold it, and it permeates into every aspect of everything in our lives. So it's no wonder when a little company that makes little toys for people to play with isn't addressing things correctly for this group of people, there's going to be outrage. Let me end this by saying, I am not saying things can't evolve. I'm not saying your AAA game that you love shouldn't get better and better and better, if that's what you're into. But what I am most definitely saying is that for fun, for creativity, for imagination, for whimsicality, for every single thing that I started playing video games for every reason that I fell in love with them, those reasons, that DNA has not changed from the beginning all the way up until now with the Switch 2 when it comes to Nintendo, their first party, and the things that they create. Thanks for watching this video. Think about liking and subscribing. Leave me a comment in the comment section, but please be civil, and I'll see you in the next video.